to News Hour. Coming up in this edition, District Health Management Team Western Area Urban holds community engagement drive on safe delivery and improved child care. Ministry of Social Welfare reviews mental health and psychosocial support services strategy. And Ministry of Communications, Technology and Innovation develops strategy to combat mobile money fraud. All these and more lined up in this edition of News Hour. Stay with us for the next hour. My name is Daphne Zainab Kamara. Faster news out tonight. The District Health Management Team in the Western Area Urban District has held a community engagement drive at the Summit Town community, which focused on safe delivery for pregnant women and improved childcare in line with the ongoing national 300 Days of Activism campaign. Our reporter Yusuf Mosire Suma was there and sent in this report.
The engagement brought together community health officials, local leaders, traditional birth attendants, pregnant women, and religious leaders within Duazak, Somalatown, and New Englandville communities. The aim is to increase awareness on the complications and dangers of home deliveries, promote antenatal care services, and encourage traditional birth attendants to take pregnant women to nearby health facility for safe delivery. The district's medical officer, Western Area Urban District, Dr. Yomba Fasuluku, said the engagement was part of the 300 Days of Activism, a call to action to reduce maternal and newborn death in the district. She said traditional birth attendants, TBAs, are essential in pregnancy delivery, but encouraged them to team up with the Ministry for safe and proper healthcare services.
We want them to start coming with their patients or the pregnant women to the facility. This is something that initially or in the past we stopped them from not doing deliveries at home, and they should come with the patients to the facilities. But the catch here is this is where they're getting their livelihoods. So if you remove that livelihood aspect to tell that woman that, look, just make sure that you don't do home deliveries and they are not getting anything from that, it's not going to work.
A senior nurse specialist from the Directorate of Reproductive and Child Health, Sister Agnes Williams, called on the religious leaders and community stakeholders to help sensitizing the public about the risk of home delivery for pregnant women.
Okay, but when I come out there, any opportunity you want to get for tell the message, you want to spread the message. If the Muslim, let the Imam themselves spread that. If the church, let the pastor then spread the message. Say all women, all belly woman for go na clinic, but that just be clinic. All belly woman for go.
One of the traditional birth attendants, Kadiatu Ture, from Kolwata, New Englandville community, who used to deliver pregnant women at home, stopped after undergoing training on the harmful effects of the practice. The councillor of the community, Abdullahi S.S. Conte, lauded DHMT for the engagement and reaffirmed their commitment to tackling maternal death in the community.
We're going to get a task force. We will get at the community. We first of all go encourage any belly woman. One of all will be register any belly woman in this community, Smalaton, Samitom. Then we forward them to the DHMHT. We will convince them, we will talk to them, we will encourage them for let the person go for medical, for checkup, you understand, go for clinic.
During the sessions, health workers explained the risks associated with delayed care during pregnancy and labor, including maternal bleeding, infection, and newborn complications. They urged pregnant women to register early at clinics and attend all antenatal visits and developed a birth plan with a health facility. On childcare, the team emphasized on exclusive breastfeeding, child immunization, nutrition, and recognizing danger signs in newborn supply, outreach, and monitoring to ensure no woman is left behind. Yusuf Mosire Suma, SLBC News, Freetown.
The Director General of the National Telecommunications Authority, Amara Briwa, has called for stronger collaboration among regulators, financial institutions, mobile network operators, and law enforcement agencies to combat the growing threat of digital fraud. He warned that cyber-enabled crime has become a major consumer protection, regulatory, and national security concern. Mr. Brewer was speaking during a stakeholders consultative workshop convened by the Ministry of Communications and Technology and Innovation to develop and validate a national roadmap to combat mobile money fraud in Sierra Leone. Ibrahim Samura tells us more.
The workshop was convened following concerns raised in Parliament over the growing number of digital fraud and account compromise cases across the country, in line with the minister's commitment to bring together all key stakeholders to develop an actionable national strategy to protect consumers and strengthen confidence in digital financial services. Director General of the National Telecommunications Authority, NATCA, Amara Brewer, said the rapid expansion of mobile money and digital services has delivered significant benefits to citizens while exposing them to increasingly fraud schemes. He stressed that digital fraud is no longer solely a technological issue but a national challenge requiring coordinated action across multiple actors. Mr. Brewer said NATCA's mandate extends beyond regulating communication services and expanding connectivity.
We must ensure that the networks, services and systems on which citizens increasingly depend are safe, resilient, and properly governed. The Cybersecurity Act of 2021, together with the National Communications Act of 2022 and other relevant legislations, provides an important legal foundation for addressing cybercrime, protecting electronic communications, regulating service providers, and safeguarding critical ICT infrastructure.
Director General of the Financial Intelligence Agency, David Bobo, and the Director of Financial Stability Bank of Sierra Leone, Hilton Jarrett, said the growing incidence of mobile money fraud and other forms of cyber-enabled financial crime in Sierra Leone has developed beyond a telecommunications or law enforcement concern, describing it as a serious financial integrity, consumer protection, and national security threat requiring coordinated action across government and the private sector. Minister of Communications, Technology and Innovation, Salim Abba, said the government launched a nationwide initiative to combat the growing threats of mobile money and digital fraud. She said the engagement demonstrated the government's commitment to addressing mobile money and data fraud and protection of its citizens. She called for enhanced monitoring, risk-based supervision, and stronger compliance standards.
This recent edition of this, because we all know this has been going on, but it seems as if this recent edition was even more widespread than before. We just should see the versions of Aligo, and when we might actually say the industry, the telecom sector of itself has grown, so you see the victims for this also grow.
The initiative marks one of government's most significant collaborative efforts to safeguard the digital economy as mobile money services contribute to expand nationwide. The workshop concluded with the adoption of a national mobile and digital fraud mitigation roadmap to guide efforts to reduce digital fraud, strengthen institutional coordination, improve consumer protection, and enhance cybersecurity across the country's digital financial ecosystem.
The Ministry of Social Welfare with support from UNICEF, has begun a 2-day consultation to review Sierra Leone's mental health and psychosocial support service strategy. The consultation brought together government institutions, civil society organizations, and development partners. Jorian Dumbuya reports.
For many people, surviving an emergency does not necessarily mean the crisis was over. It is this often invisible side of emergencies that Sierra Leone's mental health and psychosocial support services strategy seek to address. The existing strategy covered the period from 2019 to 2021, but since then, the country has faced with new and increasingly complex challenges, from COVID-19 and the flooding to disasters and the growing problem of drug and substance abuse. At the consultation, the Director of Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Services, Ministry of Social Welfare, Ansu Kone, said these challenges' reality made it necessary to rethink how the country responds to people's psychological needs. He said the new strategy was designed to address the realities people are facing today.
We are going from district to district in the future to realize this document, to raise awareness that there is a document called MAPS Strategy 2025 to 2030, which is updated and is intended to support vulnerable groups.
The review looks at both emergency and non-emergency mental health services with special focus on children, adolescents, young people, women, persons with disability, and the age. A representative from the National Disaster Management Agency, Letitia Caroline Nancy Hope, said mental health support should be included in disaster response mechanism. She welcomed the reviewing of the strategy, noting that revised document provides an opportunity to strengthen systems that already exist, ensuring that affected communities access support at all times.
We've decided, all of us partners, we've decided to add youth as well, because youth itself is a different set of people. So it's very important to pick that out, and also to strengthen these existing laws, not only to make the laws but to strengthen them. And lastly, we also picked out the evaluation, not only to monitor these existing plans or these strategic plans, but we should also evaluate from time to time, go to communities, go to victims, go to partners, and evaluate and see how far we've come and see what's the next step, what we should do.
Participants are expected to critically review the strategy and make inputs that will strengthen mental health and psychosocial support across Sierra Leone. For SLBC, Jorian Dumbuya reports.
Traders at the Waterloo and Tombo Market in the Western Area Rural District are raising concerns over a dump site located near their business place. The garbage site, they say, poses serious threat to their health. Aminata Bangura has more.
The overflow of garbage here at Waterloo Tombo Market in the Western Area Rural District appears to be a normal situation for traders, as one could see them place their goods near the dump site. Amid the health concerns, one could wonder what keeps them doing business there under such circumstance. Mohamed Kanu, disciplinary chairman of the petty traders, says council clear the garbage from time to time, but notes over time people deposit waste in an unregulated manner, and that makes no change. He says authorities have previously visited and surveyed the dump sites with a promise to construct a regional market to serve the wider community, but that is yet to be done.
Then we don't always promise the bomb and the pull. And we don't tell them they will not serve up to 3 years and they go almost.
They had promised us that they will remove the dump sites from here and build a market for us. We are begging the government to consider that. Even if they can't build the market yet, let them just give us permission. We will volunteer to bring machines to clear the place so our traders can enter there.
I don't tell we the traders and say, you have to be market. We go able to volunteer. Check machine there, can't push this. Then we will put two traders there.
Fatmata Kamara, chairlady of the petty traders, says the garbage creates a strong smell that affects traders and customers every day.
The market where the council are before, the market is small for me.
The market the council built for us is small, and we all can't enter there. Selling on the streets close to a dump site is dangerous for us, so we want authorities to consider building a market for us. They had promised before that the dump site would be turned into a market.
So that all it until embarrassed to know where we get again.
Meanwhile, Abbas Kabia, a staff member working under waste management at the Western Area Rural District Council, says the waste had recently been pushed further into the dump sites. He claims that when it rains, it is difficult for the machines to clear the garbage. He says council will respond to their calls.
The machines can't enter the dump site when it's raining because it will stuck, and when the other vehicles bring the garbage, they will just place it at the gate.
So within 2 days, then don't stop Matuka the Fokan waste and then what I would then go with Stefan and the good owner.
Amid the promises to fix this problem, the market surrounding is not conducive for both traders and buyers. SLBC, Aminata Bangua reports.
Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow has engaged councillors, district chairpersons, mayors, and paramount chiefs, among others in the Southeast region. The move is to chart the way forward on addressing the challenges the two regions face and to also get first-hand information on governance, service delivery, and security. Our correspondent at the Office of the Vice President, Joseph Toure, reports.
Open discussion from the mayors, from the chairman, looking at the expectations of the chiefdoms, looking at the expectations of government, so that open conversation will help me to learn that the whole essence of this meeting is not a political meeting. This meeting is to solve problems them where they face with councils them and also to improve service delivery.
This was the very reason the Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow, left the city of Pa, Freetown, to meet with local authorities in the eastern and southern regions of Sierra Leone. As the chairman of the Inter-Ministerial Council on Local Governance and Decentralization, he took the move to listen, learn, and work together with them to identify practical solutions that strengthen coordination, improve service delivery, and bring government closer to the people. He said strong governance is essential to building a more accountable, responsive, and inclusive Sierra Leone.
About human resources at the chiefdom administration level, at the council level, and then also how government will support them. We also, they are more importantly, like I said, to talk about coordination challenges and governance. Coordination. So the chiefdom, they get expectations then from the council. How they want to be council. Putting them in say that the experience is the last 3 years. We don't know the work with council. How can they improve? Whose ideas they will get for improve that relationship?
After closed-door sessions with the local authorities in both regions, they expressed optimism, noting that they have been looking forward to having such opportunity with the Vice President.
And I also thank and appreciate the government for the completion of the Bandachuma.
We thank government for the various development projects in the region. We look forward to these engagements to address challenges at the local government level.
Governance issues should not only be discussed in Freetown, but it should come to the region and then it should extend it to the district.
The first thing we really realize and also it gives us hope.
His coming has given us hope as local authorities. We need more opportunities to build the capacity of our staff. We would go to the drawing board to build on the gains made and improve on the challenges.
So now, when we come back together, we go back now to the drawing board, with successes and challenges.
Amid the accolades on government's interventions in various sectors like agriculture, infrastructure, water, they raised several concerns on timely allocations of funds among other issues.
The road network is now a problem. Now most of the chief are.
The road network is very challenging for us, as good roads are vital to the food security in the country. We want government to address the conflict of interest between the chiefdom councils and the district councils on revenue generation.
When they go into that, ask back a check. We said that conflicting due to that they made a separator.
The inauguration of the Regional Coordination Committee was also crucial to cementing the relationship between the central and the local government. SLBC, Joseph Toure reporting.
Outgone Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Timothy Kaba, has handed over the mantle of leadership to his successor, Mohamed Rahman Swari, at a ceremony held at the ministry headquarters, Tahil. The handing over marks the end of Timothy Kaba's 3-year tenure at the ministry, during which he highlighted Sierra Leone's increased diplomatic engagement and growing influence at regional, continental, and international levels. Esther Susanette Bassi reports.
During Timothy Kaba's 3 years in office as Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, highlighted Sierra Leone's growing diplomatic influence during his tenure, particularly the country's return to the United Nations Security Council after more than 5 decades. He said Sierra Leone served on the Security Council and chaired its rotational presidency twice, while also securing the chairmanship of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government under President Julius Maada Bio for 2025 to 2026. The past minister described Sierra Leone's successful hosting of the ECOWAS summit in Freetown as another major diplomatic achievement. He also cited the country's election to the African Union Peace and Security Council for 2 consecutive terms and the country's continued role in promoting peace and security across Africa. On bilateral relations, Timothy Kaba said Sierra Leone expanded its diplomatic presence through the reopening of its embassy in France and the re-establishment of the missions in Ireland, Nigeria, and Qatar. He further noted that Iceland, Morocco, Saudi Arabia, and South Korea established embassies in Freetown during his tenure, while Russia re-established its diplomatic mission after 31 years. Amidst these successes, he said challenges still facing the ministry, both locally and internationally.
The handing over is well loaded with relevant information. That will be important for your stewardship. You're coming to the ministry at a very important time, at a time when the world is itself very upended, insecurity in our sub-region, not least coup d'etats, unconstitutional takeover of government, the effect of climate change, insecurity, violent extremism. All of these challenges have fraught our sub-region.
Receiving the mantle of leadership, Minister Mohamed Rahman Swari commended Timothy Kaba and his team for what he described as significant diplomatic gains. He said Sierra Leone's return to the United Nations Security Council, its leadership of ECOWAS, and the successful hosting of the regional summit had provided a strong foundation for the ministry. He added his task was therefore not to start afresh, but to consolidate the achievements, deepen partnerships, and take Sierra Leone's diplomacy to the next higher level.
I will be calling, I will be asking, I'll ask for literally everything, So thank you so very much. Our diplomacy must ultimately deliver for our people through peace and security, investment, development cooperation, trade and opportunity. My dear brother, the outgoing Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, thank you for your service and for the foundation you leave behind. God bless Sierra Leone and may God give me the grace to take this to the next higher level.
The ceremony also captured presentation and signing of the official handover notes covering the ministry's programs, diplomatic engagements, and ongoing commitments. For SLBC News, Esther Susanette Bassi reporting.
The Minister of Health, Dr. Austin Dembi, and the Minister of Technical and Higher Education, Dr. Haja Ramatulai Wuri, have conducted a joint site visit to two major ongoing construction projects at Jue and Laka as part of government's effort to strengthen the country's health and education sectors. Jonathan Turner went along.
The ministers first visited the ongoing expansion of the College of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences Commerce facility at Jue. The project is expected to provide additional teaching and learning facilities for more than 1,500 undergraduate students, helping to address infrastructure needs as enrollment continues to increase. The delegation later proceeded to the Laka Government Hospital, where construction is underway on a postgraduate teaching and training facility expected to accommodate more than 500 specialist medical doctors pursuing advanced training in various medical fields. The Laka facility will include a complex hall, hostels, administrative blocks, and other supporting facilities designed to improve postgraduate medical education and specialist training in Sierra Leone. After the inspection, Health Minister Dr. Austin Demby said he was impressed with the progress of the works, particularly the speed and accuracy demonstrated by the construction teams. He noted amid the challenges associated with the projects, they will be addressed to ensure the timely completion of the facilities.
Week by week basis to see where we are, what progress is being made. The intention is, if there's any problem, we don't wait till next week. We fix it there and then. So we didn't see a lot of problems here. We saw progress that's on track. All we need to do now is to ensure that we double our efforts and make sure we deliver on time. As you heard in our discussions, we don't believe in any long explanations and excuses or whatever equivocation. We don't do that. We have a time, we work towards achieving it, and we track it on a daily basis. I think that's the kind of timeline we're looking at.
The two projects are expected to be completed and handed over to the respective ministries by March 2027. The government says the investments form part of the broader efforts to improve infrastructure, expand access to quality education, and strengthening the country's health system. For SLBC News, Jonathan Turner reporting.
The Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs has launched Sierra Leone's Maiden Gender Accountability Framework and the 2025 Annual Report on the implementation of the Gender and Women's Empowerment Act of 2022. The discussions were centered on the theme Strengthening Accountability, Advancing Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment. Aminata Fofana reports.
The session started with presentation on the 2025 Annual Report on the implementation of the Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Act of 2022. It focuses on a number of developments, including women's representation and participation in decision-making. The document indicates that female candidates accounted for 34% of elected members of parliament, 44% of cabinet ministers, and 71% of judges. However, one finding that generated mixed reactions among participants at the launch was that the document did not record any reported incidents of sexual harassment within the institutions assessed. However, the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs clarified that the absence of reported cases on sexual harassment at institutions assessed should not necessarily be interpreted as an absence of sexual harassment. It said some women might have experienced sexual harassment but were reluctant to report such incidents because of fear of losing their jobs or facing other consequences. The issue would form part of the discussions and considerations in the preparation of the next annual report, with a focus on strengthening reporting mechanisms and creating safer environments for women to speak out. Meanwhile, the Minister of Gender, Dr. Aissata Mahoy, said Sierra Leone has been making significant strides in promoting gender equality and women's empowerment. During the launch of the Gender Accountability Framework and the 2025 Annual Report, Dr. Mahoy noted amid the challenges, government efforts to address gender-related issues across different sectors has been unwavering.
But we are trying as a nation. Civil society is doing their job, government is doing their job. We are at the next of each and everybody that the Gender Equality Act must be implemented, and it is a must for every sector to be accountable.
Minister of Planning and Economic Development Kenya Bale said the Gender Accountability Framework provides data to track progress in women's political and economic empowerment, while highlighting increased female representation in leadership. She said the framework would strengthen accountability and help ensure women benefit equally from national development. Representatives from the Democratic Republic of Congo and Nigeria also commended Sierra Leone's progress, particularly the country's efforts to increase women's participation in leadership and decision-making. They pledged continued support and solidarity with Sierra Leone in advancing women's rights and strengthening regional cooperation on gender equality. The United Nations Resident Coordinator Sierra Leone, Sarafine Wakana, said the Gender Accountability Framework provides an opportunity to move beyond commitments on paper and focus on measurable results. She stressed that accountability is critical to ensuring that policies and laws translate into meaningful improvements in the lives of women and girls. Meanwhile, a member of the Gender Committee in Parliament, Honorable Catherine Zainab Tarawali, described the launch as an important opportunity to assess progress since the passage of the GIWI Act in 2022. According to her, implementation of the GIWI Act should not be seen as the sole responsibility of the Ministry of Gender, but as a collective responsibility involving every government institution. She called for renewed commitments to ensuring that no woman or girl is left behind. Stakeholders say the new accountability framework should strengthen monitoring, transparency, and measurable outcomes across sectors, while ensuring that the gains made under the GIWI Act translate into tangible benefits for women and girls.
In case you've just joined us, you're watching News Hour, coming to you live on SABC Television in Freetown. We continue with more stories. As part of efforts to revamp the public service architecture, the Human Resource Management Office, HRMO, through its Directorate of Training and Career Development and the Public Service Academy, has begun a 7-week induction training program for over 700 civil servants drawn from various ministries, departments, and agencies. The training is aimed at equipping newly recruited civil servants with the knowledge and skills required to effectively perform their duties within the public service. Sori Kamara has more.
The 7-week training is designed to equip newly recruited civil servants, particularly those on probation, with the knowledge, skills, and competencies required to effectively operate within the civil service. They were drawn from various cadres, including administrative officers, accountants and assistant accountants, higher executive officers and executive officers, data entry clerks, stores and inventory management assistants, and audit assistants across MDAs. The Human Resource Management Office, HRMO, observed that academic qualifications alone do not provide graduates with all the practical knowledge and competencies required to effectively operate within the civil service.
The role of the civil service is very critical in meeting the developmental aspirations of the country. And civil servants are the technocrats who support the government of the day, implementing the policies and programs and ensure that the state machinery is always functional and delivering the much needed service to the people. You should therefore consider yourselves as fortunate to have been carefully selected to a core of specialized trainers to perform the tasks of this state machinery.
speaker after speaker, from the secretary to the president to the secretary to cabinet, director of public sector reform units, and minister of public administration and political affairs, underscored the need to build a professional, digitally enabled, and more responsive public service. Minister Amara Kalan urged the inductees to imbibe the values of patriotism, national service, and integrity, noting that in the civil and public service, integrity matters and not connection.
For the first time in the history of this country, and even in Africa, it has been proven beyond all reasonable doubt that Sierra Leone is the only country in Africa that has created a ministry exclusively for reform of its public service. Other countries have ministry of public service, but they are not meant for reforms. They are meant to administrate their public. This is the first time we are having it in Sierra Leone. And so they are coming at a time when we are doing a holistic reform. We are rebranding, we are modernizing our public service so that it can be, at what is being practiced at the global level. So
the 740 civil servants who were deemed as extremely fortunate to have been selected for the training seemed extremely pleased as they shared their expectations.
Induction training is very important to us because firstly, it is a way of welcoming us, and also it is a training that tells us the principles, the role of a civil servant. And here, as a civil servant, we represent the government of Sierra Leone. So it's very important, the induction training is very important to teach us the code and conduct of the civil service.
When it comes to integrity, it should be part of us. Because without integrity, I don't think you will be able to serve the public. As a civil servant, integrity should be your core value, because you are there to serve the public and you should not be selfish.
The training is expected to provide participants with a clear understanding of their roles and responsibilities and help strengthen professionalism and efficiency across the civil service. Sori Kamara, SLBC News, Freetown.
The Freetown City Council has officially launched a 6-week training program for 70 newly recruited Metropolitan Police personnel as part of efforts to strengthen law enforcement, improve service delivery, and enhance the enforcement of bylaws. The training would be conducted by the Sierra Leone Police in collaboration with the Sierra Leone Police Training Academy. Abdul Mansari has more.
The launch features senior police officers, including Deputy Inspector General of Police, Freetown City Mayor, City Council staffs, among others. Speaking at the launch, the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Andrew Mustafa Kamara, stated that the two institutions, SLP and FCC, have continued to support each other through training, facilities, and joint initiatives aimed at improving the management of the city. DIG Kamara added that the 6 weeks training is designed to enhance the recruits' knowledge, skills, and capacity to deliver effective services to the people of Freetown. He said their collaboration also extends to efforts to keep the city clean and enforce the Memorandum of Understanding MOU between the two institutions.
Well, it is my view that the students will not leave this place, or the recruits who have come for this training will not leave as they have come. They will leave with in-depth knowledge that will enhance their service delivery at the council.
The Freetown City Council Mayor, Yvonne Akisoya, said the recruitment represents a significant step in the council's efforts to create employment opportunities and improve the management of the capital city, stating the 70 recruits represent a 10% increase in the council's workforce and form part of the council's Transform Freetown, Transform Lives initiative, which seeks to create jobs while strengthening the enforcement of municipal bylaws.
You will not succeed without integrity. You are not here to take advantage. You are not here to break the law behind closed doors. You are not here to bully people. You are not here to run a separate money-making program because you're wearing a uniform. You are here to enforce the laws, the bylaws of Freetown City Council.
The launch marks the beginning of a 6-week capacity building program intended to prepare the new Metropolitan Police personnel for their roles in supporting municipal law enforcement and improving service delivery across Freetown. SLBC News, Abdul Mansari reporting.
Well, away from the mainline news, we go over to segments, and we start with the international news update.
Hello and welcome to the international news with me, Esther Suzanette Bassi. The UN is warning that aid workers face a deadly and evolving threat with armed drones reshaping battlefields worldwide, putting humanitarian teams increasingly in the line of fire. The UN Aid Coordination Office has warned that 907 aid workers were victims of violence last year, simply going about their life-saving work in the face of increasing danger in conflict zones. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres honored aid workers worldwide who face threats, arrest and detention. In Sudan, armed drones were responsible for 80% of civilian deaths in the first 4 months of 2026, striking places including markets and health facilities. The International Day is observed every year on 19th August, marking the anniversary of the 2003 bombing of the Canal Hotel in Baghdad, Iraq. Amid such a demand for power and the need to support industrialization, Kenya has tripled its long-term target for expanding its renewable energy capacity. The plan calls for an increase in the power generating capability from the current amount of about 1,500 megawatts to 5,500 megawatts. The move will strengthen the country's position as a global leader in renewable energy, with Kenya already producing 93% of its electricity using renewable sources. But with the government providing limited direct subsidies to cushion prices, experts say the move might not result in more affordable power for consumers. Fear of Ebola is keeping pregnant women away from healthcare facilities in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, raising the risk of stillbirths, premature births, and maternal deaths as the country's deadliest Ebola outbreak continues to disrupt routine medical care. National data also showed that deaths occurring outside healthcare facilities nearly doubled. Health workers are strengthening infection prevention measures while trying to restore confidence in medical facilities. The current outbreak has recorded thousands of confirmed cases and more than 2,000 deaths, making the indirect impact on routine healthcare an increasingly serious concern along the fight to contain the virus itself. And finally, in the international news, children in Khartoum are trickling back into classrooms as improved security in parts of Sudan allows families to return to the war-torn capital city. Hundreds of school buildings across Khartoum were damaged during the conflict, while those still standing are operating with overcrowded classrooms, limiting teaching materials and a shortage of qualified teachers. Authorities are working to restart the academic year, but rebuilding Sudan's education system remains one of the country's biggest long-term challenges. Many students have lost years of education and continue to cope with the psychological effects of war. The conflict has left 8 million children out of school and reduced countless schools to rubble, and many schools remain closed. Well, that's it for the international news summary from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation Television. I've been your presenter, Esther Suzanette Bassi. Thanks for watching. Continue to stay glued.
Well, from the international desk, we move over to the latest in the entertainment world.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment News with me, Sulaiman Babature. In this edition of Entertainment News, ISAT releases the video of song titled Mayere. And Shati B dishes out the video of his song titled Sorry Bobo. Finally, Uche Montana's new movie, Second Chances, clocked 5.2 million views on YouTube. And now, from songs like Ben, Cocoa Butter to collaborating with April on Fine Lake, to hooking up with Drizzly on No Games, Aisat has released the video of her new song titled Mayere, featuring one of Sierra Leone's up-and-coming finest singers, Danny. The video is on all social media handles. Let's see the video first, then later go stream it. Really nice, a nice culture, a nice traditional song. Of course, this we have been listening to songs like this. Mayere, oh Mayere, do konko. Nice indeed. From Aisat, we go to one of Sierra Leone's super up and coming artists, Shelty B.
I was born in the ghetto. Me people no ghetto. We live in the rentals for come fine. We need a lane close.
Shelty B, an up-and-coming rapper representing Dwaza community in Freetown. He has been in the game for more than 15 years, struggling to make his way out. Despite the struggle, the young, energetic rapper has been entertaining his community fans and is now out. Decided to give out the talent. He's out with Sorry Bobo. Sorry Bobo. Sorry Bobo is one of those songs that you try to ginger up your colleagues to, you know, take care of themselves and look out for the future.
Sorry for Bobo. Look where you are. You face all the wonder. Go boopy your nonko. Look where you put so. I make you call it so till you are so. Usa you come on, you just talk, you know they perform.
Yes, that is Sorry Bobo. Speaking to the entertainment desk, the rapper said he was inspired by different artists like 50 Cent, Bob Marley, Carl De Niro, LJ, and other new school stars. He spoke about the challenges he's facing in the game.
I feel say the biggest thing the promotion area. You understand, many artists and they find it very difficult to promote their music because the fee entails money. Most of them don't get that kind of opportunity or the kind of connection we it takes to push their music out there. Yes, that's one of the biggest problems in that.
Keep working hard, Shelty B. From Shelty B, we go finally to the long-awaited collaboration. It has happened. For the longest time, fans and movie lovers have been anticipating the appearance of Nollywood stars Uche Montana, Bimbo, and Bam Bam on a movie with debate on who is the best. It has happened. 3 Uche Montana, Bam Bam, and Bimbo in one movie. Second Chances. The movie was premiered on Saturday, the 15th of August 2026. In just 2 days, the movie has clocked 5.2 million views on YouTube. But let's get a taste of the movie. Then go stream it on YouTube.
And you don't take my calls, you don't talk to me, please. There's nothing to talk about. Cynthia, I did not set you up. I would never do this. I said not here.
How is Benson? Nothing you should worry about. Are you sure it's nothing I can help with?
Beautiful and good actresses. Well, this is all we have for this edition of Entertainment News. I've been your presenter, Sulaiman Babatue. Thanks for watching. Keep watching the SLBC. Bye-bye.
And now to our final segment, the sports updates.
It's the sporting updates that keeps you in the know, and thank you so much for your time. By the way, my name is Abdul Kabir, and we begin with community football in this edition. At the approved school sports promoters in the east end of Freetown, well, the competition itself is serving as a saving grace to Sierra Leonean football. Kosotown community secured a winning start to that competition after they defeated Tondahill 1-0. It was Fodekai who had an opportunity which was converted nicely for Kosotown community. Almami Conte was in attendance for the SLBC.
It was an evenly contested first half, with both Koso Town and Thunder Hill Community Football Club creating clear opportunities to take the lead, but strong defensive organization and brilliant stops from both goalkeepers kept the game goalless at the break. The intensity continued after the restart, with both sides relentlessly searching for the breakthrough. Koso Town finally found it in the 55th minute. A dangerous cross into the Thunder Hill penalty area caused confusion in the defense. The defender slipped while attempting to clear, allowing Koso Town striker Kai to bring the ball under his control before finishing to put his side 1-0 ahead. Thunder Hill then pushed for an equalizer through their striker Kabatoka, but Koso Town remained dangerous on the counter and nearly doubled their lead when the defender pulled a brilliant last-ditch block to deny Abbas. Koso Town defended their advantage until the final whistle. The victory takes Koso Town to 4 points, leaving them in a strong position to progress, while Thunder Hill Community remain on 1 point and must win their final match to keep their hopes alive.
Well, in we expect again for win, and for win, I'm sure. We are ready, the boys are ready for play. And we don't promise the community they get their happiness, and we will always give them happiness.
For Thunder Hill Community, Technical Director Samuel Jones said they still believe that they can make it to the next round, while calling on the community to rally behind the team.
No, football, not days and days. Maybe God will be with today, God not give you on time. Maybe sometime the next game, God will give you on time. Line of football.
Koso Town midfielder Kelvin Lamine, known as Bolo, was named man of the match for his impressive performance. With the group now heading into its decisive final round, Koso Town need only a draw to put themselves in a strong position, while Thunder Hill must face a must-win encounter with Wellington Community to keep their qualification hopes alive. For SLBC, Alimami Conte reporting.
In another development, the newly promoted side, Western United, are gearing up for the new season. I mean the debut season. And in fact, the technical team and host of other members are working assiduously to get things on course for the new season. Western United, they are with high hopes and expectation to have a decent competition.
The squad we put together, we bring Canada to Premier League, don't do it for like 4 years. Meaning, if they're not being competent enough, enough of being qualified for Canada Premier League. So we have a lot of trust and faith in the players that we already get. But however, we're not going to be complacent at all. Not like you mentioned. There are other big clubs that also get quality players. So we will definitely look at areas that will go strengthening. But that does not mean in entirety we go change the squad. No, far from it. We believe, say, not to name the play football. We believe, say, now young, able players that we professionally trained from the professional coaches and technical team staff that we get. As long as they don't give them players that they require training, okay? We create the right environment, them, footballing environment, then we deliver and then go for play. So we believe that the few additions that will come. So what am I trying to say? I know also they outrightly say we are not going to bring 1 or 2 or 3 new players. But for those who will get that notion, say, the club, the players that will be in the Premier League, but they can't change them and completely bring other one and come. No. We will bring players that way. For instance, if we have a number 7, if we bring another player, that player will be better than the number 7 we will get. If we get a striker, if we bring a striker come, that striker will be better than the striker we get. So meaning we can get a healthy competition at the league, and we will also boost the younger ones that we get, who believe say they can do this job. Well, organization is the key. As I speak to you, we organize ourselves. 1, we don't set up with proper membership scheme, Patreon level, general membership level. We set up with fan-based structure because we believe that this committee, this club, now the community people and get her, not to me get her, not to the CEO, not to the team manager get her. So I believe that we need to organize ourselves. Of course, as the membership they go on now, we don't buy the membership card. Pretty soon we go get for do we fan-based structure. Then again, we don't seek out letters, we don't issue out to sponsors, people within the Western area, businesses, farms, companies or whatever you want to call it. We get for, right with we get for work with we along for when we promote some business and give you some support financially but able for boost the league, able for boost with players them and the team as well. So in everything what I don't say, I'm prioritizing the word organizing. We only focus primarily now on organizing our team, especially so we don't count the Premier League, for let people know why we cannot the Premier League and why we therefore stand the Premier League and why people for support Western United Football Club. Western United fans them for expect, say the club, we can put together communities in the Western area together under one football body, meaning the Western area communities, the Moritong, Aberdeen, Sojatong, Coal Farm, Tintom, Lumley, Wazak, Brookfields, all of those communities. We players then they come up from all of those communities, and the fans then within those communities for understand say this are the football team where they don't get at the Western area, and if we adopt them and if we all out to one, and we go get for can deliver quality football. We can at the league, we can compete, and for make sure say they are entertained and they see products from these communities I just mentioned, able for qualify to the under 17 level, the under 20 level, and the national team level. So not just for play football, for also for impact positively on the players in life.
Well, that ends your update, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time.
And from our final segment, the sports update, we end news hour for tonight. To end the news, the main points again. The Ministry of Communications, Technology and Innovation has developed a national mobile and digital fraud mitigation roadmap to combat mobile money fraud in the country. Speaking at the validation workshop in Freetown, the Minister of Communications, Technology and Innovation, Salim Abba, said the initiative was aimed to combat the growing threat of mobile money and digital fraud. The District Health Management Team in the Western Area Urban has held a community engagement drive at the Samitown community, which focused on safe delivery for pregnant women and improved childcare in line with the ongoing national 300 Days Activism campaign. And the Ministry of Social Welfare, with support from UNICEF, has begun a 2-day consultation to review Sierra Leone's mental health and psychosocial support services. Well, that's all we have time for in this edition of News Hour. Thanks for joining us. My name is Daphne Zainab Kama. Keep watching the SABC. Good night.